Most moms are walking around chronically underfed and they don't even realize it because they spent the whole day feeding everyone else. Like there was food around. You fed your kids breakfast, you packed their lunches, you already know what's for dinner, and you just forgot about yourself. And here's the thing. I know you probably didn't skip lunch on purpose, like it wasn't a conscious decision. You just kept reaching for a handful of crackers here, a few bites of someone's leftovers there, and now it's late afternoon and your body is running on fumes and you have nothing left. And that is what happens when a mom has been in pure output mode for so long. She's stopped thinking of herself as someone who needs to be fed. And I want you to hear this clearly. The way you eat, whether you actually sit down and have a real meal, whether the food you're eating is real food at all, whether you're eating with your family or standing over the sink, it is directly affecting your energy, your mood, your mental health, and how present you're able to be for your kids. So in this video, I'm walking you through 3 shifts that changed how I feed myself and my family, and honestly changed my energy more than I expected. We're talking eating regular, full meals, cooking real food without it being complicated, and eating together as a family. And why that last one, it matters more than most people realize. This is the approach that helped me go from running on empty to having steady, real energy, even while homeschooling my kids and running a homestead and keeping our whole family fed on the weeks my husband is away working. And if you're new, I'm Erica, and on this channel, I help exhausted moms build small, sustainable habits that restore energy and protect long-term health without overhauling your whole life. And quick thing, if you want a simple starting point after this video, I have a 3-day energy reset challenge linked below. It's 3 days, really small steps, and it'll show you exactly where to start to get your energy back. If you want more of this kind of content, hit subscribe and let's get into it. Now, let's talk about food, because I think it is one of the most overlooked pieces of the energy puzzle for moms. And nobody's really talking about it honestly. Skipping real meals and snacking through the day is subtly wrecking your energy, and most moms don't connect those dots. Now, I've always been someone who protects her meals, even on the most genuinely chaotic days. Homeschooling, homesteading, my husband gone for weeks, I eat a real meal sitting down. It is a non-negotiable for me, the same way that it is for my kids. And I know that sounds simple, but I also know it is not the norm. What I see over and over is a mom who feeds her family beautifully and then realizes at 4 p.m. she basically hasn't eaten. And it's not because she doesn't care, it's because she's been in output mode since she woke up and her own hunger just didn't register. And here's the thing, so many moms are shocked when they actually pay attention to what they're eating in a day. It's not usually meals, it's scraps or small snacks. And when you just eat scraps, by the time you sit down with your kids at the end of the day, you have nothing left to give them. And that matters. A real meal, protein, fat, actual food, will change all of that. Not dramatically or overnight, but with consistency over time in a way that compounds. Now, this is not about eating perfectly, it's about eating actually, like a real meal sitting down that your body can use. Start with 1 meal a day that you actually follow through with. But here's the part nobody tells you. Regular meals only work if you have something real to eat. And that is where most moms hit a wall, because the most available food is not actually fueling anyone. Processed food is filling a gap, not restoring your energy. And the reason most moms aren't cooking real food isn't laziness. It's that nobody ever showed them how simple it actually is. My shift to cooking from scratch happened slowly, over years. It wasn't some big decision I made. It was more like a gradual realization, one small thing at a time. But I remember the exact moment my mindset sort of cracked open. I was watching a YouTuber, this was years ago, and she did a video on roasting a whole chicken. And I just sat there like, wait, that's it? She put some seasoning on it, tuck some butter under the skin, put it in the oven. That was the whole thing. And I realized I'd been carrying this idea that cooking from scratch required skill I didn't have or time I didn't have. It doesn't. You just need a little bit of knowledge. So I started there. One thing, a roasted chicken. And from that one meal, I had dinner, leftovers for lunch the next day, and turned the carcass into broth. Real food, but almost no effort, and nothing was wasted. And here's what that unlocked for me. I started seeing that real food is often simpler than processed food, not harder. The payoff in how I feel now versus how I felt before I cooked this way is real. And it wasn't instant, but it made a huge difference over time. Now, none of that works if it's 5 p.m. and your fridge is empty. So the other piece is keeping a stocked kitchen. For me, that means good fats on hand, like butter, olive oil, a protein I can pull out without thinking, like eggs, ground beef, or a whole chicken, and then a starch like potatoes or rice, and whatever produce I have. That is a meal every single time. One of my students, Olga, put it perfectly. She said that having this kind of simple system meant she could spend less energy on daily routine decisions and more time actually present with her family. And that's the whole point of this. It's not really about food, it's about the kind of life you live that is directly affected by how you eat. And cooking from scratch, it does not mean gourmet. It means you start embarrassingly small and let it grow from there at its own pace. Chicken moment was mine. Yours might be a pot of soup or a tray of roasted vegetables. Just start with something, master it, and then build on that. If you're realizing that what you actually need is some guidance, not just information, that's exactly what my 3-day energy reset challenge is for. Food is a big piece of it, but it's not the only piece. So you can grab that in the description below. Okay, now for the shift I feel most strongly about, and this one goes way beyond food. The family table is one of the most underrated mental health habits a mom has for her kids and for herself, and it costs absolutely nothing. We have always eaten together as a family. No TV, no everyone off in their own corner of the house, and no grab and go. Occasionally, yes, but normally we sit down together, we eat together every night. And I want to be honest about why, because it's not one thing. There are so many benefits to this. It's connection. It's a time during the day where there's no agenda other than eating and being with each other. And with days full of homeschooling and chores and toddler chaos and whatever else, that matters a lot. It's also modeling. My kids see me sitting down, eating a real meal, taking care of myself, not just serving them and running back to the kitchen. They see that meals are something you sit down for, and that is going to shape how they feed themselves when they're adults. And honestly, mealtimes are a kind of reset. The chaos of the day usually stops at the table. Don't get me wrong, there are sometimes meltdowns at the table, for sure. But for the most part, a meal together is like starting a new section of the day, and we kind of move on from what happened before it. The research on this is very clear. Kids who eat regularly with their families show better mental health outcomes, stronger communication skills, lower rates of depression and anxiety, and healthier relationships with food long term. Not because of anything magical about the food, because of what happens when people sit down and are present with each other consistently over time. It's a small thing, but again, it's got a compounding result. You don't need a fancy meal. Mine is rarely quiet or peaceful. I have young kids. It's chaotic. You just need everyone sitting down at the same time, eating the same food without a screen. Do that consistently. That habit does more for your family's mental and emotional health than most things you could spend your time on. Feeding yourself well is not a luxury. It is a foundation. And it doesn't have to be complicated to be real. You don't have to become a different person or completely overhaul your kitchen or figure it all out at once. Like I said before, just start with one small thing, a real meal you actually sit down for, one simple dish you cook from scratch, one dinner where everyone's at the table without a screen. Because this is never really about just food, right? It's about having enough left at the end of the day to actually enjoy your kids and your life instead of just surviving until bedtime. It's about being the mom you want to be, present, joyful, and actually there, not just physically, but genuinely there. And that starts with taking care of yourself at the table. The moms I know who have the most energy, who show up the most present, they're not doing anything extreme. They're doing small things consistently, and they've been doing them enough that they've started to compound. And if you want a simple place to start, grab the 3-day energy reset challenge in the description. And if you want to learn the 3 systems that I implemented that took me from exhausted to energized without more discipline, including how I meal plan, watch this video next.